certain ones, like some of the
check on the gauge again.
Sure,
Yep.
because of the hard substrate.
Is there an example of something that, you know, maybe is only found along, you know, only found in the Eastern Pacific, maybe only found along the California, Washington, Oregon coast?
I don't know.
That's a tough question. Probably. But in general, the trend is that there's a lot of connectivity in the deep ocean, and so species have a broad, if not cosmopolitan, distribution. But there are species that are more abundant in some areas or not present in others.
Yeah, one of the things we encounter just within our sort of Nautilus science operations is the idea that so little of this has been explored that often we will, you know, see or encounter an animal that maybe has been recently described in one part of the world and nobody's ever
Zoom in there.
nobody's ever spotted it in a different region that we're working in. That doesn't mean it hasn't been there all along, but those range expansions are sometimes just as important as the actual describing the species themselves. That happened with the flamboyant squidworm. That was such a hit for us. Check that out on the highlights page. We encountered it in the Galapagos. It turned out that it had been named just a few years before from a collection from the Philippines. So turns out those are on both sides of the Pacific. But nobody knew they were on this entire half of the ocean, you know, a quarter of the way around the globe, but connected by the same ocean.
So we were just zoomed in on a sea cucumber there, and you're able to see the oral arms that they use to feed with. They're called oral arms because it's little appendages that surround the mouth of the cucumber. So it'd be like if you had fingers on your lips that could gather up your food. There's a visual.
Yeah, that's a nice one. I like to think about the sticky pads, you know, like if you just had sticky palms and just palmed your food and put it in your mouth.
Oh, looks like we've got a black coral there.
Yeah.
I think it's Bathypathes.
Go ahead, zoom in.
Yeah, it'd be great to see the stalk. We've been noticing that some of these have sweeper tentacles on the stalk, which this one does not have. And so the sweeper tentacles form or are induced to form by predators crawling up the stalk to try to get to the tasty polyps up above. Thank you for the zoom.
Okay. Okay, full wide.
Full wide.
Lots of new viewers with us. Thanks for tuning in on Nautilus Live. You can also, if you're watching us on YouTube, know that you can come over to nautiluslive.org and see a lot of profiles of the teams, actually identify the voices that you're hearing right now, match those up to faces and bios, and as well as sending questions just below the video feed there, and they're answered here in our control room by our team.
And just as a heads up, I'm Amanda, but I'm going to be replaced temporarily by Annie Hartwell as I go and eat a little bit of food. So thanks, Anne, for relieving me. Have fun.
You will.
You'll be back.
Hello, Nautilus Live. Amanda doesn't know this, but she's about to go be very happy when they sing to her.
Oh.
It's her birthday.
Oh, good. The chief engineer also has a birthday today, so maybe they'll do a double singing.
Ooh, a big party. And we have to work.
Yeah, I think this broadcast is on in the lounge, so.
Well, she was in transit.
That's true. She wouldn't have been there
yet. Thanks for the heads up.
Zoom in there.
Zooming in.
It looks like an upside down jelly.
Oh. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh.
Is it an anemone?
That's an
It
upside
looks
down
like a jelly.
You may be resting or otherwise
Or-
slowing down.
Or otherwise. Yeah.
So they're normally not upside down?
No.
Normally not.
Well, like, there are jelly called upside
They're
down
right,
in,
that's
like,
right,
tropical
that's right.
waters.
I think this one is Slowing down.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Slowing down.
What is the white, like, stuff? Not the stuff on its fringes, like up near its...
I gotta
Right.
match
I don't know. I don't know if they're
Gotta
gonads or
match
if they're
my-
feeding.
my zoom adjustment
Parts.
with the decreasing distance to the
It's kind of like little white hairs or something coming out of it there.
Yeah.
Are those
It's
all
really
worms?
close.
No.
It's really close now.
Beautiful.
We're right on top of it.
Thank you
We're
for that
amongst
zoom.
it.
Wow.
I have one with the jelly.
All right.
Okay. Coming wide.
Yep. Get out of the way.
Very close.
It's moving a little bit.
Okay. Wow. Mm.
Hey Wayne, what are the green lasers for?
Those are our trenching lasers. We use them to excavate.
Set
no,
them to stun.
No, those are just very low-powered green laser pointers. They are mounted 10 centimeters apart. They are mounted on top of our camera, and they are shooting straight away from the main lens.
Mike, can I take your bubble for a moment?
What that enables us to do is to have a reference distance. So wherever you see those two green dots, that is 10 centimeters apart. Almost a little more than 4 inches, I think. But yeah, definitely 10 centimeters. So this helps us identify if we're looking at a big fish that's far away from the lens, or a little fish that happens to be swimming very close to
Is that
the
an
lens.
octopus?
Yeah.
Yep.
Quick look
Think
at his
so.
arm.
Okay,
Zoom in.
If possible.
zooming in. See that's about 20 centimeters across for the whole body
Yay.
from the laser reference.
Can't see the third leg.
Can't
Nope,
see
it's
that leg.
hiding its third arm. Thank you for the zoom.
Okay. Coming wide.
I like how they stretch like one arm,
It's
one or
like
two.
Height
arms.
victory.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a yoga
Upward
instructor.
facing octopus.
Yeah.
Yoga pose.
So this dive is expected to continue until midnight tonight. So we'll be back on deck at midnight. About 3 hours to the surface from this depth. We will be streaming the entire time. It is an awesome time to get your questions answered because we have a little more time and attention.
It
as
looks
we
like we're starting to feel that
resurface.
tug to the 0055.
But send in your questions
Mhm.
now.
Would you like me to turn my heading when you get out in front?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we can start going on that.
Right.
So we are approaching a feature on our map that may be a sediment wall. We hope to get there in a few minutes.
Okay, we're starting to see
Oh,
some mounds
yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's crank up. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah,
couple
start
different
coming up.
perspectives.
Roger.
So this is pure exploration. We are headed along the seafloor in an area we've never been before. This is exactly what we were doing before we encountered the whale fall a little bit earlier today.
Always.
Yeah, pure
Stop the ship
exploration.
there, Aaron, just
Yep.
in case.
Bridge nav. Hold position, please.
Pure exploration is exciting because we never know what is
thanks.
coming next.
Just about to ask about it.
And we're, just wanting to better understand what is in this National Marine
Did they do
Sanctuary
it?
environment. So we've been surveying the different types of habitats and different animals that are here. On the octopus, you see us asking about the third arm. That is an exterior, a visual way to tell the difference between male and female octopus within these groups based on what their tentacle structure and array looks like. So, we're making just basic observations like this. How many are we seeing? Are they males or females? What types of behavior are they doing? How widely distributed are these different animals? So, just really basic characterization questions that come first before research.
Just like a little.
And come first before management. It's really hard to manage what you don't know is out there, and it's very hard to ask good questions about what you don't know is out there. So exploration really is the forefront of that. and we're really happy to have you along with us.
I'm happy to be here too. This is Jennifer Brown, and we're leaving Erica Burton for a short time while she goes to have her
Hi,
dinner.
Jen.
Hello. I hear we might see a little something exciting on.
We've had quite the day.
I don't know if I can handle more excitement, but I can. I could handle more.
Zoom in on the Sea Star.
Sure. It's really
That
long
was
and
awesome.
skinny arms.
I like it.
So are we in the process of turning right now, or?
Nope, the ship is basically at the bottom of that slope,
I'm
more
gonna
or
start
less.
coming up a little
Oh,
bit.
okay.
Yeah.
We're kind of
Okay.
encroaching on.
Right.
Yep.
So the ship is holding position with,
Right.
with some jiggle,
Uh-huh.
and the vehicles are just starting to get pulled in that direction. So we'll kind of give us a side swipe on that other feature
Okay,
on our way up.
great, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, this is Wayne being relieved for dinner by Ashley, video engineer.
Great, thanks, Wayne.
Bowing. So we are right now off of the coast of Central California in Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary, about 50, 60 miles offshore. If you want to follow along with us, check out the expedition tab. It'll show you not only this mission, but all the others from this expedition season. There have been 13 different missions. And also, you can click into our expedition map and our expedition history. It's been 10 years of Nautilus traveling around the world conducting missions like this one. And there are lots more exciting
Zoom in there, video.
sights to see.
Looks like we've got a couple tube anemones.
Hey pilots, could you please power cycle the TDO?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Got a couple irregular urchins and a couple tube-dwelling anemones here. Or I don't know if they're tube-dwelling, but they're soft-bottom anemones.
All right, power cycled.
Thank you.
Okay, full wide video.
And are we looking cross-slope or upslope with Hercules right now?
You can see it's kind of into the thick.
Kind of up, but a little bit. See how it slopes off there?
Yeah.
So
Have you seen anything further to the left related to that bright pink on the map? Not really?
no, we were just zinging along all of it,
Yeah,
crisscrossing everywhere. It was just like this.
Okay.
Just muddy
You
everywhere.
can look over for a moment.
So as we're moving the ship along right now, we're using a system of thrusters in the bow pump, or the jet pump in the bow thruster. So the main engine of our ship is not actually on right now. So we use these small movements to hold
Zoom in
station
there,
and
video.
move the ship along the surface to march along the seafloor with the ROVs. When the ship moves, it moves Argus, and when Argus moves, that gives Hercules, ROV Hercules on the seafloor, the slack and the tether to be able to move further along the seafloor.
All right, thank you. We got some black corals there associated with some, what would you call that?
Go push
Crumbly
right in
looking
if you
rock.
got any more zoom.
Oh, just unconsolidated sediment.
You can see that the black coral's on a piece of rock that is more solid than the
at those sea
unconsolidated
stars.
sediment. Yeah, beautiful.
You can almost see their skeletal
I'm starting to get pulled
structure.
off to the right
let's
more.
go.
Okay, all right, full
Priority
wide. We
is-
gotta go.
Yep, priority is to keep moving. But we will do that. Thanks for the zoom.
Yep.
No reason we can't be entertained on the way though, right? Some great looking shots of beautiful corals and fish and anemones. But we're really excited for where the ship is waiting for us.
Yeah, I got in and I saw the
Let me know if you want me to
high
face you.
tech and I was like, oh man, they made great progress.
Trying to get over to you.
So where we were, and I realized.
We've got a little
I always forget there's a
little
lag.
yeah, a little time to catch up to that, to the Nautilus on the surface.
That's cool. This is pretty calming. We did see a neat potentially upside down jellyfish, although it looked, it was like red and it had like these deep red, about 5 things coming out of it.
Like oral arms or something else?
Well, they Erica speculated it was just an inverted jellyfish,
Oh, okay.
but it was really neat looking.
What's that?
What is that? That
Yeah,
looks
an old heater or something.
marine
Zoom in there.
debris-like, doesn't it?
I love this
What
game.
is that?
Guess what it is?
A
It looks like a
box?
flower pot.
Toy truck? Yeah.
Plastic crate box kind
The
of thing?
veggie drawer from a
Yeah.
refrigerator.
It does
Something
look
like
like a veggie drawer.
Full wide, please.
So
I was thinking of those
weird.
crates that produce are transported in.
Yeah, the big clear bins. There's been a lot of trash along these last couple dives.
Well, there's a lot of, just now when we're coming up from having dinner, you can see, and earlier today also, large ships are going by. There's an octopus off to the left.
Yep.
Large, ships go through this area, going between Southern California
Zoom in there.
and the San Francisco Bay Area, both large ports. So there's a lot of ship traffic, and that can sometimes.
Thank you. We can't get a good look at that. He's hiding. This octopus is hiding its third arm.
All right, I gotta go.
Thank you. So that could be part of the reason why you're seeing more trash here. Is there's a lot of surface traffic of different kinds of vessels going between ports.
How much further north are we today than we were yesterday? Like the ship-wise, we only moved like a couple of kilometers, right?
I don't know exactly.
Yeah, we're pretty close.
You're giving a bit of a
Stand
tug.
by.
I really like when I start
That's
to fly
pretty
through
cool.
the water column.
Yeah,
Here we
interesting.
go. So this is a little bit of what we thought we might see as we went by here. We saw a lot of these like walls and sedimentary rock features, shear features earlier today. Ooh, some rocks
Yeah.
at the bottom there as well.
Earlier, I forget who it was, someone was telling me that maybe those are used for ballast by some of the
We're gonna
marine
lose the
mammals.
bottom for a bit here, guys.
And so they get ingested, and then they get kind
Where's
of
our
moved around and
Scott?
worked in the stomach, and that's what
I think all you
grounds
need
them.
is
And then eventually they get deposited.
We
Oh,
talked
that's
about that on
interesting.
our
Erica
watch,
was
yeah.
talking about that.
We're about 7.5 kilometers from where we were yesterday.
Did you hear that? 7.5 kilometers?
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
And we are about 7.3 kilometers from where we started this dive.
So are we in a shipping channel now, as opposed to yesterday?
Oh god.
No,
No.
no
Okay.
more so here than where we were.
Okay.
There are suggested shipping lanes that keep for large tankers and shipping container vessels that request that they stay further offshore. So if they were to become disabled, there'd be more time to respond before they would come close to shore and endanger, potential sensitive resources along the shoreline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and typically the regulated TSS shipping channels are right before pilot station.
Right, but we have these other shipping lanes that go along the central coast that are kind of suggested, but not different than the ones, as you say, entering and exiting San Francisco Bay.
The reason I ask is just we have seen more trash on these dives, and it might be because we're just transiting on a larger area, so we have a higher chance of intercepting the trash, but I also was wondering if there's just more chance of it being dropped.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've just gone off the top of the little feature. ROVs aren't very good at going downhill because the back of them hits as the front of them is looking out into blue water. So we just sort of hopped off an edge. You can go horizontally out and then sink down and reacquire the seafloor. So that's what's happening.
Thank you for filling us in.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
downhill
there it
is really
is.
hard. You have to turn around and back down if you want to see the downslope.
We're gonna
So are we heading to the base of the cone?
Yeah, we are. Do you see the, if you look on the map, you can see that the Nautilus vessel is now very close to our waypoint 17 at the base of the cone, and we are working on catching up to it right now with Argus and Hercules.
I like those little eyeballs looking up at us on the left.
Yeah, that third arm is
and then you
curled
guys
tight
are
on that one.
gonna
He's kind of
go
hiding.
straight uphill.
That is what I've heard. So to go kind of straight uphill this first time, so we can kind of get a sense of it from the base to the top, and then we'll decide how we want to explore beyond that.
Roger.
These octopuses are everywhere.
And that one on the left side has that third arm curled, so I'm going to presume it's a male.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
There's another one further ahead.
There's one hiding behind that rock.
You know, if
presumably.
that's the only thing you have to reproduce with, you're going to protect it.
Good point.
So we have roughly 3.5 hours left of exploration.
Mm-hmm. That's right. How long do you think once we get caught up to Nautilus it would take us to go from the base to the top of that cone feature?
It's 630 meters line of sight. So if we did half a knot, that would be 45 minutes.
Okay.
But we're not gonna do that.
Right. When you're going up, I understand. So, okay, but maybe going slower, a little around an hour to kind of take in.
Yeah, with stopping and zooming and the change of ship speed and everything, I'd probably an hour and a half to 2 hours is reasonable.
Okay.
So I was under the impression we could go around it or zigzag it. It was...
I think we wanted to go to the top first, right?
That's what I just heard when I was down at dinner.
Yep.
We wanted to go to the top first, and then what time we have left, we can decide on additional kind of patterns of exploration around it. But I can confirm that when
The gotcha there is if you go to the top, then you're going to have to do what you were just talking about, is go downhill.
Well, I guess for now we...
But the alternative is to back downhill, right?
Depends on how steep it is, but...
What's behind you?
There's lots of options.
I think we should start off with catching up with Nautilus and setting a course for the top. And I will just check in again with Science Lead on the preferred trajectory to get to the top. And I can come back up and tell Erica when I get back.
If I have any input, I would, if you see some interesting features, follow those on the way up. So don't commit to going straight up.
Okay.
Just follow the geography and take your time going up, and then you can always make the decision whether you want to keep going or go around.
Okay.
So if you commit to going to the top right away, then you commit to not being able to see much coming back down. There are octopus everywhere here.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, huh?
Yeah.
And it's great. Because we're not that, where you said we're 7.5 kilometers from the brooding ground. So I wonder if we're 7.5 kilometers from another brooding ground.
Maybe closer.
Or another whale fall.
Wishful thinking.
Let's just make this day crazier. Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, we could throw in a sunken vessel there as well.
Oh
How's
my
that?
gosh.
Yeah.
Sharknado, maybe.
When we came up on that first wall yesterday, the way the sea urchins were placed, kind of all at one line and evenly distributed, it really did look like we were approaching the side of a sunken ship.
It's really amazing.
It was
those mud banks are really incredible.
Yeah, they're huge. I mean, you know, relative to...
So viewers, what you're seeing at the top are artifacts from our lighting array and the way the lights are spaced. So there are dark spaces and light spaces in between, and we're kind of looking up a little bit towards our light bar. That's what you see along the top, and the white bits are marine snow, which are parts of detritus or partially digested food that rains down from the surface waters above. Very important food source for lots of these creatures down here on the deep sea. thanks for following along with us. We have a ton of first-time viewers tuning in with us in like 29 countries watching right now. Send in your questions. Let us know what you want to know. EV stands for Exploration Vessel Nautilus. That is our official ship designation. Kind of like NOAA ship or ROV research vessel or
OSV,
yeah,
offshore
OSV.
supply vessel.
Yeah. HMS, Her Majesty's ship.
Yeah, we got a few more octopus here, I'd say, than we've been seeing in other areas. Wonder if this is a prelude to something cool.
What is that thing up there? Oh, it's
some carbonate.
Carbonate with a couple of urchins on it, or
anemones.
Something else. Anemones.
Yeah.
Anemones. Oh, look at that orange anemone.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what this cone feature looks like. Looks like right beyond the vessel, Nautilus is some potentially high relief area.
Awesome. Lots of Pacific grenadier swimming through right now. One of our more common fish that you see with that elongate eel lake tail. Big pectoral fins for gliding.
What was really interesting, because we've been seeing mostly the grenadier and the cusk eels, but at the whale fall, it was mostly eel pouts, which we haven't been seeing elsewhere. So
they have the most fantastic grumpy faces. We did a live interaction with some first graders just after that, and it was just awesome being like, an eel pout is a perfect name because look at its pouty little face. All animals should be given obvious names like that. Just my own 2 cents. So many nice comments coming in. Thank you so much, viewers, for being with us. This is kind of a crazy day. This is the final day of the 2019 expedition season. So this is our, we encountered that whale fall and all of these creatures on what is planned to be the last dive.
Don't give it a name.
Huh? Okay, Miles.
Don't give it a name.
Of the 2019 season, we are not planning to put the ROVs back in the water again until it is 2020. Just a time period until. We used to call this off season, but it really is just shore season for us, where we do a lot of planning, a lot of writing, a lot of permit selection, a lot of participant selection. Our internships and fellowship programs are open now, so the organization that runs all of this only has fewer than 24 employees, so there's a lot of planning and a lot of coordination that goes into running a 6-month field season like this. So we regroup and meet up with our partners and determine the exploration targets for the next year, and then sometime in the spring we will announce our 2020 season and our plans for when Nautilus will return out here to the Eastern Pacific.
Oh, a little yellow urchin. It's like driving in the car and just looking out the window.
That's right.
Not making any stops, just getting there.
Yeah. No snacks, no stopping.
We took our bathroom breaks before we came up here.
The kids are going to have to hold it.
Until we get to that cone feature.
Yeah. We will see this cone feature today. We're going to see it.
No, I'm sorry. You're just going to have to hold it.
That's right. Oh, look, some more octopus. What's those anemones in between?
Looks like.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Sometimes I see little eyes looking up at me, and I think it's just the anemone. That thing, yeah.
Right in the middle there. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, I see 2 green eyes that are looking from the sediment back up at the ROV. They keep moving.
It's the deep sea laser demon.
Ooh.
My watch, the 8 to 12s last night, we had like a weird clown face made out of anemones on the side of this rock.
Yes.
Oh, I saw.
It was pretty freaky.
I saw a picture of that.
That can be really unsettling for a large portion of the population.
Yeah.
That's, you know, we get the question a lot, like, what's the scariest thing you've seen down here? And I usually pivot that question because I think there's just a lot of things to be understood and amazed by and not scared by down here on the seafloor. But, you know, at choice moments, I might have to go with, like, clown and enemy face now.
Oh, we saw the grumpiest fish on not on our noon to 4, but on yeah, it was a snailfish. It was on our midnight
they're
to
so
4,
grumpy.
closer to 4, and it was so grumpy.
All the pressure's got him down.
Oh my God, more
That's
jokes.
good. I
All
love
I
it.
do is look for food.
It wasn't the snailfish, though, that's in our Davidson Seamount Taxonomic Guide, so that's exciting because that means we get to add another species to those that have been observed here.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Only the arbiter snailfish, Caraproctus kamakawai, is in the guide. So now the one we saw had these very long pectoral fin rays. It was really neat. So.
Oh, that's awesome. That's like such a sign of success for an expedition for me. I'm always interested in that, of how many new animals we've added to the species inventory, you know? Like
Yes.
this is like going to Yellowstone and finding out new animals live in the park. It is an area that is already set aside because it is a special place in America's wildlands. It just happens to be a salty special place in America's wildlands.
It's harder to see than just going on a hike, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's any less important or that
Exactly.
it's less important to know what animals live here, right?
Exactly.
I have two contributions to this conversation. So one, we saw this giant squat lobsters, which were really, really cool.
Did you see those at the whale fall? They were
yes.
so big.
They were like 4
Right.
inches long. They were huge. And then on the topic of rocks, but not necessarily creepy, on the first day, do you remember we saw that rock that looks like an octopus? It had two little eyeballs and its head was
right.
shaped. It was really cool.
Dane, I thought you pointed that out, that the shape of this rock's head
think
looked
it was
like an
Amanda.
octopus.
They,
it was
they
Amanda?
carved it
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a like
It
a
was really
sculpture.
neat.
Can you zoom in on that, please?
In the middle of the screen?
Oh, never mind.
The white?
Yeah, no, that's good. Thank you.
What was it?
I thought it was something. It's not what I thought it was.
Well, what was it?
Yeah.
It was, I think it was just a piece of coral. I don't know. I thought maybe
Or
it
a
was
sponge.
one of those other octopus things that they have in the googly eyes.
Oh.
That would just break it. That would just like.
That would be like too
if
much.
we found a googly eye?
Oh, if a googly
my
eye stubby squid
goodness.
showed up right now, like Samantha and I would just go close ourselves in our room. We'd be like, we've tweeted too much today. There's too much. No, not too much. Never too much. This is so cool and just really funny to us for that on the last day we have such a spectacular opportunity to
I see
bring more
something
people to the
green.
seafloor.
Bright green down there.
Oh, yeah.
Can you
All
zoom
right,
hand down?
I'm off to dinner. See y'all.
Oh, well. I think we couldn't stop to see it. I think
okay.
it was trash, though.
It's okay. You need a.
No, not the lasers. But good. Yeah.
These things, they look like they've got eyes. That is really neat. Every time I see one, I think it might be an octopus. Like, see how it like kind of looks like it's looking at you?
Which thing are you looking at?
On the ground in front of you? In front of the lasers.
In front of the lasers. The anemones?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe my eyes are just playing tricks on me.
I think your eyes are tired from all that excitement earlier at the whale fall. Oh, hello. Erica Burton is back. That's okay. Oh, yes. I hear there was going to be some
She's
cake.
probably well
There was
plied with birthday cake.
Yeah, there were some birthdays on board today. So Erica is back from dinner and happy after having celebrated some birthdays with some birthday cake. She's going to, I'm sure, just have lots to add with that sugar high that she's on. All right. Have a great time, everybody.
She's going to be humming, "Everybody Dance
Yeah,
Now."
I'll probably have to turn down our attenuation a few dB.
Why? Because we're back and excited.
Oh no, here we go.
So much coffee, so much sugar, and we are ready to explore.
Did I miss the birthday cake?
It's still down there.
It's still there.
No.
There's plenty.
Yeah.
It was huge.
What kind was it?
Chocolate
Oh, yeah.
decorated with Snickers
And Skittles.
and Skittles.
And big, flowery blobs of
Pink icing.
raspberry-colored frosting, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't sound awful. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, we've seen octopuses. They're all over the place.
Ooh, there's a little.
He's not
hunk of
looking
something.
too good. He's got his head bashed in. No, he looks okay. It was just the lighting. From that
Yeah, no,
angle.
I think he's okay.
He is okay. But he or she.
He just looked a little strange.
He did. I'm pretty sure he thought the same of us.
Are
There's
there
a bump.
more?
A bump on the seafloor.
There's one to the right, but most of these are just the enemies. It's got this neat effect where sometimes when you look at an enemy and you see between its tubular extensions or tentacles, kind of looks like it could be eye spots, and it makes me wonder if, if these things evolve and they kind of look like each other, if it helps all of them survive.
Is that
by
eating a dead
blending.
fish? I'm sorry to interrupt, but that octopus is on top of a fish skeleton.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
It might be eating the crustaceans that would be eating that dead fish.
Oh, it could be doing that too.
Well, when we reached out to a cephalopod
Nice.
specialist
Oh
at the
yeah,
whale fall.
look at
It's
that.
a mini whale
neat.
fall.
She
Mini
she
whale
suggested
fall.
that maybe they don't
A fish
necessarily
fall.
eat the meat
It
itself,
was
but the
definitely a
organisms
fish
that are
fall.
eating.
Oh, right. Okay.
So either.
Guys. Was the birthday cake a sponge cake?
It was chocolate cake covered
It
in
better not
chocolate
have been
frosting.
a glass sponge.
Oh,
cake.
no.
Or mousse cake.
Ooh.
Yeah, a mousse cake.
What is that? What is mousse cake real? Is there such a thing? I think you make that up.
I've heard of mousse pie, but
When Amanda defended her master's degree, her lab made a sponge cake, complete with spun sugar spicules.
happy birthday to you.
That is awesome.
Amanda I saw the cake. Amanda just stepped back into the control van.
Hi.
Yeah, that cake was
I know. Happy birthday. I knew.
quite the sight.
All right. Well, thank you guys. I think most of us are now back from dinner. It was delicious.
Hello, everyone. This is Amanda Khan. I'm back on the air, too.
Hooray!
There was birthday cake. It was amazing. It was chocolate cake with pink frosting and colorful sprinkles and rainbow Skittles and Snickers bars. It was overwhelmingly sugar and color, and I loved it.
That sounds great.
This is radio station AMDA back on the air.
I'm a bit of a talker, huh?
Call sign MLML.
And
luckily, I have a sugar adjustment knob on.
We should just mess with Wayne and like whisper a little bit and then get really loud.
is that the decibel knob or your dB
It
knob?
is.
Okay.
That is right.
It's adjusting us so that we don't terrify the world.
Saving speakers across the planet.
I have a question for our Argus pilot. Are you ready?
He's not listening.
But no, she's got. I got
yeah,
her. I got her.
Antonella can cover it.
All right, Antonella. Hello, I am an undergrad computer science major with a fondness for marine biology. I was wondering if this kind of degree has a place in aiding explorations like this. I think you're the person to answer that one.
Yeah, absolutely. One second, mic issues. You good?
Nope.
Okay.
Yep.
I have a degree in computer science and I'm able to do this, so I'd say yes, it definitely has a place. I think what helped me is having a very diversity of experiences from studying robotics and other types of engineering, and then I work with a lot of marine biologists in the field and in other places, and that's really given a different look into like how technology can be used for exploration. I think there's a ton of places for newer technologies like machine learning, advances in computer vision and autonomous mapping and all sorts of things to really increase our ability to explore the oceans. So definitely I think you're only limited by your imagination and the ways that technology can be helpful to science.
Yes, absolutely. I probably said it too much and you guys are sick of it, but this crew is absolutely wonderful. We are a full ship of just people that love what they do, are passionate, are creative, are inspired, and we absolutely love to share it with you. So if you have an interest in coming to do this, we are all here to talk to. A lot of our information is also up on Nautilus Live. We do have different information about different career paths. There's some very great videos that we've just recently put up. And just keep doing it.
So I
can't make it as awesome as Antonella did.
The substrate here looks quite different. You're seeing a lot more cobbles exposed on the surface.
Can we poke it?
It's like the rubble is right below the surface.
Yeah, so we're approaching a knoll. We're going to climb up that the next few hours.
This is what we've been aiming for the last couple of hours. I think it took us about an hour and a half to get here. We got sidetracked along the way on our transit by a whale fall.
So cool.
Skeleton of a
046.
baleen whale. But we're back en route, and we're almost to the base of this knoll.
And it rises about 250 meters from the seafloor.
Oh, we're calling it a knoll or a cone?
A cone, sorry, I called it a knoll.
No, you're good. I'm just sort of wondering what sort of geological features would make a specific cone shape.
Well, we'll look it up.
Okay. Yep. I'm good with that. All right, how tall are these corals? So I'm going to make you guys do the math. Those laser beams that you can see are 10 centimeters apart. That's about 4 inches. And so that's what we use to kind of gauge the size of things on the seafloor. We can always go back via image capture and measure things. So
at least 20 inches, it looks like.
Yep.
And the one on the right looks like it has sweeper tentacles, which is a predator avoidance morphology. So.
And where are you seeing those, Erica?
So on the stalk, on the right-hand side, the right-hand coral,
I see.
Those little tiny feelers, those are called sweeper tentacles.
Okay.
Predators like sea stars?
Yeah, sea stars like to crawl up on corals.
Anemones?
Anemones,
so those keep them from wanting to crawl up?
They may be a deterrent. We have done some experiments at Sur Ridge where we placed sea stars on those tentacles, and they do not like it.
I wonder why that is. Octopus do not like astroturf, so if you need your octopus to stay in its tank and not try to climb out for the 800th time, you may line the top of it with astroturf, and they do not like the texture of that. But if you're keeping an octopus, keep a sustainable octopus. Not a wild, exotic, and or the deadly ones. Guys, stop picking deadly pets. Just not a good idea.
Just don't keep octopus.
There's an article that was suggesting that we don't know how octopus are pretty cryptic, and many species have been found just recently, and they're ones that are popular for aquaria. So we don't know what their population size is yet, or whether the aquarium trade would have a big effect on them. So thinking with Miles at the moment.
Yes.
Don't keep
Okay, so I 100% agree, except now I believe it is the 2-spot octopus.
We see one on the right.
One species that is actively being aquacultured or cultivated for the aquarium trade, and they've got a sustainable captive population that they're working from. So if you get one of those, you're not pulling out of the wild, you're working with aquaculturist. So that's what I would suggest. But for every other species, I 100% agree with Miles and Amanda. Don't take them out. We don't know what's going on yet.
So I wonder if the breeding industry is breeding for intelligence.
Within the
we want
octopus?
smarter and smarter octopus to
I
sell to the public.
Don't know if we do. I think they're going to take over. They're already very smart.
They're going to figure out how to climb up and pull the plugs out of the wall.
So there's a little more cobble here, isn't there?
There is. Yep. This is
Might be getting close.
Yep.
Ooh, look at that sonar.
Ooh, sonar is full of hard
Yeah,
things.
it's coming up. It's close.
Here it comes
Closer. The pink and yellow matches your fancy map there.
Yeah.
See, I told you there was a reason.
Is it possible to switch careers from particle physics computing to deep sea exploration? How would I even connect with researchers or groups that could use a physicist? I bet you could. I don't see why not. I am always an advocate for changing a career if you love something. We've talked a little bit about today that you find what you love to do and then you sort of find a way to apply it to marine biology or deep sea exploration. We have all sorts of people out here with us that have different backgrounds and different career paths, and I absolutely think that's a possibility. We have a question for the control layout of the ROV Hercules. There's a lot of buttons going on over there. I'm not really sure how to talk about that
Ready
one.
for Zoom?
So basically, everybody's played an arcade game, yeah? It's got a joystick.
Navigator trying to wind me up. You put quarters in right here as fast
So this
as
does
you
look
can.
like moose octopus, like the one that we saw brooding on the other space. And trying to see that third arm to see if it's a male or a female. But it's a little shy.
Not gonna give it up.
Nope.
Not going to show you.
He's twisted into a pretzel yoga pose right now.
If this is a video game, then that's Minecraft.
It's so cute.
Pixelated.
Okay,
Thanks,
coming wide.
Thank you.
We're not gonna see it.
There was a little snail next to it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, sorry.
I wonder if it was...
I got a snapshot of it, so.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah. I wonder if it looks similar to the whelks that were at the
On sat
breeding
feed
area.
2,
Brooding
I
area.
will switch to the camera view for inside the control van where we are. Hello. That's us. That's what we're using to control Argus and Hercules.
So specifically, the Joybox has the two main controls. There's a X and Y joystick, and it twists. So if I want to change the heading of the vehicle, I twist the joystick, which we try not to do. And so I move it left, and that moves the lateral thrusters on the vehicle, and forward and back moves the horizontals. And then there's one, and that's in my right hand. Then in my left hand is a joystick that controls the vertical thrusters. And we have a bias dialed in on those to kind of trim the ROV so if I let go of it.
Oh, look at this rock.
Ooh, here it comes. It maintains its depth somewhat, and it can do that better than the auto function scan.
Yeah, we're starting to see our features.
Here it comes.
Those are the main two.
Okay.
See a
Thank
second
you.
octopus.
Ooh, we have octopods.
Octopuses.
We do.
And a stalked crinoid.
And
That's
a
that
bathypathes.
bright yellow. And a bathypathes.
That
And
is
the
that
volume is
tall
increasing.
looking coral on your right that's just going out of the screen. For those of you who are asking what that tall looking coral thing was.
And that bright yellow critter on a stalk is a stalked crinoid. So they're echinoderms related to sea stars. You see several different kinds of sea stars in view.
Sea cucumber.
Yes,
Oh,
I
I
see the
love
sea
them.
cucumber.
I love them.
Pinkish red up in the upper right quarter of the screen.
hot dog looking thing.
2 octopuses.
There's so much to see.
Yeah.
So we're going to climb up this cone in a zigzag pattern.
Cushion star.
So you'll see us going from left to right to left to right.
Mm.
As if you were hiking up a little mountain.
So, Jen, or Amanda, the rock with the octopus on the top of it, kind of upper left, look down near the lower right edge of that rock. What is that little blob, do you think? Is it?
Oh, the little round white one?
Yeah.
My guess would be a sponge.
A little sponge?
Yeah. It's a little hard to see.
They're on almost all the corners of all the rocks.
This is true.
Yeah.
So
You think this octopus is pretending he's a statue?
There are several sponges in view right now. The bottommost nubbin.
Is that a male octopus?
Yes.
You saw the hectopodilus?
I think so, yes.
I don't know if that's a sponge. The knob in particular.
Yeah.
There are many other sponges
many
in
other
view right
little
now.
sponges.
I see snails.
Full wide.
There's a tall coral.
Oh, big rocks.
Yeah.
I should have been looking at the sonar. So all those colorful patches that are kind of a deep purple or a gray color are encrusting sponges that are growing against the rock. And they're growing on the sides, probably because there's not a lot of sediment settling on them there.
And such because they're such low relief, that's where they need to be. They can't reach up into the water column with their growth.
We believe that all of these octopods are the same species. We can tell it is a male octopus because on the third arm, so if you look at the, looking down on the octopus, you start at the eye, and you go 1 arm, 2 arm to the right, 3 arms, you're going kind of clockwise. And on the third arm, at the very end of the arm, there's sort of a modified structure.
They crank the gain down on Argus?
And a lot of the time it has that sort of...
Look at these rock formations and how it's like they're flowing down in pillows.
Turn the threshold up a little.
I'm thinking this was volcanic.
Oh yeah, it's part of the seamount.
Yep,
Sure.
so this is where lava was coming out of the seabed.
Yep.
So this mound is probably a volcanic vent, prehistoric volcanic.
Oh, I'm excited to see what we find.
Oh, I was talking to Miles, sorry.
Xenophile 4. You see one? It was just floated off the bottom of the screen.
Ah, I see a predatory tunicate in the top left. And a monothalamium behind that.
There you go.
That rolls off your tongue. I'm going to need some practice.
It's getting there.
Monothalamnia.
I've been practicing.
Yeah, there it is. Monothalamnia.
Just when I got Xenophile 4 down, now I've got to change it
I
to...
gotta switch it up again.
Sorry guys, that's science.
So true.
Yeah, this looks like a very large, the side of a very large candle. The wax has melted down.
Oh, look at the size of that predatory tunicate.
Where?
Straight ahead, in the center.
Straight
Almost
ahead.
in the lasers.
Yeah,
Can we do a fast zoom?
I can do a fast zoom. Is that right, Dan?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Let's see if I can get it in focus.
Yep.
Ah, look at the lips
Keep it
there. Oh, it just
exposed.
closed its lips.
Is there an isopod inside of that?
There is a polychaete worm.
It is a polychaete.
I think it's on the top.
Yeah.
Walking on the tunic. That's what the material is called. Sort of clear material.
Tunic.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for zoom.
Thank you.
Okay, coming wide.
There's another monothalamia next to the right laser we just passed. And yeah, those are giant single-celled protists. And then there are a bunch of sponges dangling down on the rocks. We saw these, and we collected some on our last dive. We collected 1, so we're going to figure out who that is.
Yeah, definitely not in this number, though.
No, they were hanging off those clay edges when we were seeing them before.
You can really see the lava flows on the left-hand side of
Yeah,
the screen.
absolutely. So the people who were wondering what the source of this mound was, I think we've discovered it.
Is that the same gain you were adjusting?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's that anemone.
That's not helpful.
Bolosera.
Thank
Oh,
you.
now I jacked it up.
Bolosera.
What do I do?
You turned it to 0.
That one is not sticking in my brain.
That's
been
really
trying.
low.
There's another octopus.
Wow. Got a little bit of everything.
So
Definitely.
with the addition of this relief to the habitat, diversity has really gone up of the megafauna that we can see anyway.
Yes.
And these are the types of things that we were seeing at the cobbly rock area, I guess close to the octopus garden site too. Things that like the hard surfaces.
Wayne, could you open the iris on Argus?
It's all the way. I can give it some gain. Like that?
Yeah, beautiful.
Okay.
The BBC
Wow, this
shot
is,
there.
This is stunning. So
Look at that broken piece of lava. It's open.
That is
right on the right
that's
center.
right. That's right. It's like the tube that the lava was coming through.
just like a lava bubble.
Yep. So this has been here for what? Maybe as long as Davidson Seamount, maybe a little
Probably.
younger.
Yeah,
And it's not exposed to wind and rain, so it hasn't been eroded away. So this is what it looked like when it stopped forming.
And the major part of the seamount last erupted 9.8 million years ago.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, that is just phenomenal.
It's octopus.
Octopus.
It's my yellow
Oh,
sponge.
is that
Look
the
at
Picasso
that
sponge?
one.
That
No?
is
Nope,
not.
it's
That's
not.
That's the
Amanda
one we
mystery
don't
sponge.
know,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So we collected one of these on the previous dive. So stand by, everyone. I'm working
Zoom in
on
a
it.
little bit
Alright.
there, Wayne.
Say what?
So
biggest
there's a
one we've seen.
monothalamnion.
Yeah, I'll
Yes, you're right. Monothalamion, those brown leafy-shaped structures sticking up off the seafloor.
Looks like a miniature oak tree sitting on the side of the rock.
So with this name change, or maybe not, you tell me, monothalamia are now foraminifera?
Yes.
So how does that work? Which part is the test?
Hold on, I just want to see this zoom first.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because
Who's
it's
inside?
beautiful.
That's
Looks
good
like
on
there's
the
some
zoom
dead
there, but-
tissue, huh?
Oh, it does look like there's something.
And
It's not a batfish, is it? Because it kind of looks like it might be.
Roar.
There's no way it is.
there's a little shrimp inside.
A shrimp. Hello, shrimp.
There's a shrimp inside.
Tiny one.
Is the
So-
darkness dead tissue?
or just some of the
Or
tissues
just-
clogged?
The base of it.
It's weird that the base would be like that.
Are we full wide on Argus, or are you zoomed in?
Partially zoomed. I can come forward.
I don't know.
Okay, I don't know
All
what
right,
that is.
thanks
Okay.
for zoom.
Moving on.
Thank
We
you.
have looked
Coming
at-
wide.
Bridge nav, another step.
Wow. What is hanging off the bottom of those exposed pillows?
Well, Amanda collected some sponges that look like that. Those cylindrical looking finger projections.
Yeah, they're right, exactly.
Yeah, so we collected one of those
Don't wanna come up
yesterday.
a little, I
Okay.
think.
So hopefully Amanda will let us know.
Yep.
When it hits that 20 meter, your inner ring there.
I got to
you
take it back
come
to the
up
lab
from
before I can
not
figure
paying
that one out.
attention.
So it won't be for this cruise that we'll know it, but we'll know it soon after.
This is a cool feature.
This is amazing, yes.
Wow.
Look, we're on a little ridge here, dropping off on either side.
You have your choice of the ridge or the crack.
Crack. Oh, I see.
I was going to say ridge, but
No, oh, sorry. That was me trying to see where the crack was.
I just
Well,
giggled.
cracks on both sides.
You're
How
right.
about both?
with the 2 big ears on the side.
Oh, thank you, someone else on the internet that thought it kind of looked like